It is February the 1st, 2016. I'm Dana Durnford, also known as the NuclearProctologist.org. And it was an impromptu stream again tonight. Hi, everybody. I see you there in the chat room. I'm going to get rid of the Adobe Flash very quick. And the live streams are getting faster at beginning the live stream. We're not quite fast enough yet. And what do we got for you today, I wonder? Today, because I've been on the go all day, 2 ferries today, down the island, back again. And so I'm exhausted. But I'm tickled pink to be here, kicking ass again. What's that guy doing there? Let's find out. So, you can see the picture below me. Fukushima, Japan had a 9.0 earthquake. It had a tsunami that was spawned from a 180-mile wide coastline. The earthquake itself, it was traveling at 9,000 miles per hour. It was 1,000 times worse than Haiti. And it was felt in Florida 30 minutes later. The tsunami ran through the nuclear power plant. After that, they had detonations and meltdowns. This is Unit 1. Unit 1 caught fire and blew up and then blew up and caught fire and blew up and blew up and okay. Right, like he said. Blew up and caught fire. Hang on. Forgot I was doing this. Okay. That's Unit 1. So it done all of that by itself. Nothing to do with earthquake and tsunami, right? Okay. This is Unit 2. Unit 2. Of course. It caught fire, it blew up, it caught fire again, it blew up again, it caught fire again, it blew up again. This is Unit 3. You guessed it. It caught fire, it blew up, it caught fire, blew up, and caught fire, and then caught fire, and blew up. It's too hard to do this one. This is Unit 4. Guess what happened to that one? Well, there's nothing left, so that meant it caught fire and blew up, and then blew up, and caught fire, and it blew up again. I'm kind of liking that little creature there in the corner playing. You got to realize you just sat there and shot that before we went live. And Jeff Rinson won't be on his show tonight till 9:30. So I said, hell, I'm going to do a live stream. So I popped all this. It was all sitting there anyway, I suppose, in one sense, but I had to shoot those little videos. Caught fire and blew up and caught fire. See, that's kind of a... Anyway, nuclear scientists, a new study now published over at NuclearProctologist.org by some researcher named Dana Durnford, showed that 99% of nuclear physicists hate you and hate the other 8 million species on the planet, right? Dana, nuclear scientists just don't hate humans. They're killing the other 8 million species too. Yeah, like he said, they're killing the other 8 million species too. And so we had those 4 meltdowns, melt-throughs, melt-outs, and these 4 lousy buildings created 9 million little bags. Think about that. 1-ton bags. You know, I call that a little, but 9 million 1-ton bags. And these bags are radioactive till the very end of time. These bags are not built to last very long. And that was a quote from Elaine there about a week and a half ago. A really good quote, important quote. And that you're not going to sit there. Okay, if you're working on these bags, are you going to be the guy or the girl who, we don't know if women were working on this project. I'm sure they were. We just haven't seen that evidence. But you can be sure, you know, they were sending the women in there too. They've got a whole history of doing that. Right from the radon or the radium watch painters was all women, literally. They were loving it. They were sucking that up. Look at them. They're going to die. Cancers. Yeah, I got a little bit a little bit to get through here tonight, so we better get our bullets in gear. Snap that out of the way very quick. Switch mouse. Okay, I got the other mouse. Hi everyone. Left Killer, I'm Thirst. I'll just run down while we're here. Nash. Hi Kate. And Kate's got the Fukushima Hounds. And Jan Brooks got Miss Milky the Clown 1. And I'm Thirst loves me double. Hi Shanique and Elaine and Clint and Candace. Did I miss anybody? Ash. I'm sure I missed a few people. Smartin. And anybody? Alright, let's keep going. In the stream, no one knew what was happening. And I didn't put up the video preamble on YouTube. We didn't really. It's my own fault. I should have had that one up on YouTube because it's very difficult for people to find it another way. Dana get friggin' busy there. And so, well, we left off last night's stream. Some headlines we never, never got to. Huffington Post was listed as external stakeholders. We covered that, which is just disgusting. We had the nuclear snow. That's where we left off. Nuclear snow in Pennsylvania. And so that, if you had the right conditions there, it would snow every day, all day long, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. It just happened to be that the conditions were right that day to show the massive releases that are constantly, endlessly coming out of nuclear power plants. And it manifested in the snow in this particular instance. And this is 1 inch of snow, 2 inches in some places, but 1 inch of snow. Just from a short section of perfect conditions to create the snow. I mean, that was radioactive snow. That was a dirty bomb released throughout your country. If you live within a 50-mile radius of any nuclear power plant, you will get cancer. Your children will get cancers. If they live, there's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies will show up before the cancer. And they will get one of those, and it will cost you a fortune, and it will degrade their lives and take away from their health dramatically in short order. If you live within a 50-mile radius, there's your evidence right there. There's the release, see? But anyway, let's keep rocking. 30-mile long cloud went over Pittsburgh. That's where we kind of left off. Let's run back over here for a second. Got some crappy pictures. I had to do this the hard way, so it's not going to be high quality. What is a nuclear whack job? Yes, it is, or no, it is not. I do not know. Okay. See, that makes more sense than the average nuclear scientist when they open their mouth. They usually say, oh, it's like a banana, or like walking in sunshine. It's like getting on an airplane. They actually got an education. They know better, but this is disgusting. A very popular show on TV with a nuclear physicist, and he's always making fun, right? Oh, it's like fish and chips, Mr. Trendy Boy. But he's a nobody. He's an actor. He reads a script. He's an insignificant nobody in every sense of that word. But yet the children that are watching the program think of him as a nuclear scientist. Nuclear has invaded everything on TV, everything in radio, everything in the media, and every university. It's pro-nuke. A climate scientist went to university to be the pro-nuke. They went and learned that it's not like a banana, not like walking in the sunshine, not like getting on an airplane, not like the normal emitters on the planet, but come out and under the guise of a climate scientist gets the traction in the media and tells you and your friends and your families and your loved ones and strangers that you might talk to in the future that it's like a banana walking in the sunshine. You got an education and know the difference, but come out and told you the lie. What is that? That means they hate you. In every sense of the word, they disrespect you. They treat you as if you're an idiot, as if your loved ones don't matter, as if your hopes and dreams are insignificant. That's what a nuclear scientist, nuclear physicist does for a living. They mock you. They ridicule you. They create substances. Not only that, but they're all mass murderers because they kill animals, inconceivable amount of animals. We cover those studies repeatedly. Dr. Raymond Gilmedy from Loveless Respiratory Research Institute in New Mexico. Let me bring that up for a second. Can't talk about that guy enough. Dr. Raymond Gilmedy. We know you're there somewhere. There he be. Here he comes. Dr. Raymond Gilmedy. Oh, I got that pinched off. Oh, yeah, that's okay. I fix it now. I fix now, yeah? Now, Mr. Hang on. Well, that's not supposed to be pinched off. Oh. So now I got to come in and reset that. It only takes a second. Hang on. Let me get rid of that and that. There we go. Hello, Mr. Gilmedy. He's a mass murderer. Dr. Raymond Gilmedy. He's got 94 peer-reviewed studies on beagle dogs and beagle puppies. He's one of the thousands of nuclear scientists who chose to kill dogs and puppies for 35 years as a career by giving them cancers and giving them tumors. And they can't give them like painkillers or something because that's not a real study anymore. So they got to let the animals suffer. So they most likely cut the vocal cords out of all the animals. And then they probably made wigs out of that. Okay, I made that up, but don't put it past these people. And so curium compounds, which is the biggest producer, major byproduct in irradiated nuclear fuel rods, curium isotopes. These are like plutonium and americium, neptunium. Now, Dr. Raymond Gilmedy from Loveless Respiratory Research Institute done many studies on beagle dogs, 144. And the lung, skeleton, livers received the highest. And that's not working out the way it's supposed to. But I could fix it. I could fix it. Let me fix it. Okay, not so quick. Let me fix it. Yeah, that doesn't really help me much. Dana, let me fix it. I fix it. No, that's the wrong one. Okay, don't worry about it. But anyway, the studies showed that out of the 144 dogs, all the dogs died. Lung tumors. Yeah, I'm having a hard time positioning that page tonight for some reason. Oh, I don't know what to do here. So I'm going to keep moving. That's irrelevant in the context of we've covered this for betas. And I'll fix that after. It's got to be. There's just so much going on with this software. Anyway, back to this guy over here. Cover a couple of headlines very quick first, though. Snow, that's where we left off. Snow, nuclear plant shut down after in-house system lost power to a blizzard. Because of a blizzard. You can lose your whole country because of a snowstorm. Once it starts melting, they're not going to run in there. Like, that's not ever going to happen with these people. And if you don't know what I mean by that, yeah, Okay, how about this?
To push the burning fuel through into the back of the reactor.
But the heat had melted the cartridges, so they'd become stuck inside the core. They were forced to use scaffolding poles they'd found nearby to try and push the cartridges out. Radiation was so intense they could only work a few hours. They were running out of firefighters.
The police from the factory had turned up looking for volunteers, and they'd brought a bus, and they decided the best way to get the volunteers was to go to the cinema and volunteer the back 2 rows at the show to go into the factory to, as it turned out, to help push the fuel rods out of the reactor.
They went to a theater and stole people rather than take the 5,000 employees at the nuclear plant and do the job. They went and stole people, loved ones, children probably, women mostly, most likely, and brought them to the nuclear power plant. They done that at Chernobyl too, by the way. Went out with buses and yanked people off the street because the nuclear workers are not going in there. Nuclear scientists are long gone. They are out of Dodge. Because they want it to melt down. They want to kill the entire country. They want to kill all 8 million species on the planet. That's why they're telling you it's like a banana. That's why they're telling you it's like walking in the sunshine. That's why they say radiation is harmless. And that's why they vilified me and arrested me and demonized me in the media because I said different. Dana said different. How about... Here's...
Of the decommissioning work taking place here
in Reactor 4. I cut that one off. Sorry about that. But he claims he's inside of Reactor 4. Have you seen Reactor 4? Has anybody even showed him what Reactor 4 looked like? So let me give you a quick boo what Unit 4 looks like and what it don't look like. Right? Unit 4! Do you think he's in... This fuel pool is in that building? Huh? Do you? Are you that gullible? Do you think it's inside of that building? Do you think that thing there is inside of that building? Huh? Do you think that there is inside of this? Or inside of that? So Seth Dorn from CBS and PBS, why did he come out?
Of the decommissioning work taking place here in
Now he wasn't the only one, but he was the only one that was inside of Reactor 4. Now, Seth joins a long list of people come out and told you Unit 4 was inside of the building alongside of it. So you see the news headline. I put the other two pictures there on the opposite side, right to the far side. And this is what they all come out and showed you, but that's what it actually looked like. But here's Seth inside a perfect building in the top corner, right? Here's all the media. I'm going to have to get rid of that. Extra barrier is the problem. Maybe I can do that right quick. I'm pretty good at that stuff, right? There you go, that's a bit better. Where was I? There. Here's CBS telling you. Oh no, everything's good, Dana. Yeah, Dana. But I put the pictures on the far side of the explosion and the actual building, but they're showing you a picture. Like they all done it to you. But Seth, he took it to a whole new level, right?
Of the decommissioning work taking place here in Rio.
Excuse the language, but my goodness. Let me see.
Pet peeves. I have major psychotic fucking hatreds, okay?
This is Guns and Butter.
This is a good one. I just want to explain a point.
This is what we need to worry about most in the world is the law.
Okay, look at the fuel pools up high. Hey, where's the fuel pool? On that second story. At the top of that building. And let's look at the building. That's Unit 4. But look at Unit 3. Okay. I screwed that up, did I? Okay, let's keep coming down and hit that video one more time. I'll skedaddle.
This is what we need to worry about most in the world is the loss of off-site electrical power. So we've got a nuclear power plant here in Vermont, Vermont Yankee. And off-site electrical power is the problem. What we're talking about in New England or in California or in Pennsylvania or in Wisconsin, with any one of these nuclear plants, sitting next to some body of water is not...
Fuel storage pull. Pull. And so if they don't get power for about 11 hours, all the water boils off. Yeah? Okay. Let me find the rest of this equation. Not that it matters, I suppose, but there's such a mess on my computers. Okay. That's what 400 kilometers of the coastline look like, where there's many, many reactors. Many. Okay.
Fukushima, once they lost their power, they couldn't cool.
They couldn't cool. And see, this software chops off the last couple of seconds. I gotta let it hang from now on. My apologies. Once it loses power, the fuel pools are in desperate trouble. Here's Hansen in the same interview talking about 3 Mile Island, and then he says you got more radiation if you were flying on an airplane, which is, it doesn't work that way in the terminology that he's talking about. If you put Fukushima into the equation, he's kind of right coming up.
There are multiple reasons, I think, why there's opposition to nuclear power plants. Nuclear energy is harder for people to understand, the idea of radiation. I mean, radiation is natural. The Earth is bombarded by radiation all the time.
It's got nothing to do with nuclear.
So the radiation that was released, for example, in 3 Mile Island, that exposed the accident at 3 Mile Island in Pennsylvania.
Gangster.
Exposed residents nearby to radiation, which is equivalent to the amount of radiation that you get by flying in a commercial aircraft across
Trying not to
the continent
laugh.
and back. So it's not
Look at
really
him.
that dangerous. But
Why do we got terrorist laws? Why did it kill all the dogs in the studies for 35 years, James? And James used to work for NASA. He was one of the in charge. He got a lot of traction. But he's an outrageous, unbelievable sack of lying and duty. This is the fallout from 10 years, a period, in America, bomb testing. And each line was by 3 or more nuclear clouds. Now, they done all that because the FBI had made a map, and what they had figured out was that if Russia attacked their country, it would look like that. So they figured they should do something like this, afraid Russia do that. And who got held accountable? A lot of these people are still alive. You can hold them accountable. So do that, but at the same time, you're storing it all over your site. At the same time, you can't find anywhere, and it has to hemorrhage into your community. To contain it, you'll detonate. And so that's why there's all this cancer throughout your country, is because you have it throughout your country. And they're not going to give it up. Right? They're not going to do the fight themselves. They'll use the military against everybody. They'll use the police against everybody. But they'll come out and continue to tell you like Hansen, that is like getting on an airplane or sucking on a banana. It's shocking. And I'm not allowed to come out and say we should shove it down his throat because that's inflammatory. But it's okay for them to want to kill me and kill you and kill your friends and families and succeed in that and be unimaginable killers, but you're not allowed to come out and criticize them. You're not allowed to come out and say, these are sacks of shit. Because that's bad. That makes me a bad person. That makes me a horrible person. I'm a terrible fucking person for criticizing these people. How dare me come out and say something with emotions? How dare me come out and say this is wrong? How dare me come out and say I want to give it a shot in the head because it makes me angry? Because that makes me a criminal now. It's okay for them to murder everybody, but Dana said something about it. Therefore, everybody should ignore Dana, ban Dana from the internet, arrest Dana, smear him across Canada. Dana is the epitome of the devil. But think about these people. CEO wants to raise the retirement age. A fucking CEO. We want to raise him up on a flagpole with a rope around his neck. He wants to make you work for another 5 years, so he can have a bigger pension. But Dana, you got upset. So Dana, you just lost all credibility. Dana, how dare you have emotions? It's okay for anybody home to say the same thing. It's okay for them to say the same thing. But the guy telling the story is not allowed to say it. This is the mental illness of your local governments, your local nuclear PR firms, your local idiots, your local morons, and your local dummies in your community. Oh, Dana said something bad about the nuclear. They just fucking killed the Pacific Ocean. Don't care, you said something bad. You bad man, Dana. You should have to work till you're 70. What if I got freaking stupid old... Hang on, I'll fix it. Having a rough day today. Ain't that rough, though? Was that any better? Let me try that again. No, that didn't help me at all on my end. Climate skeptic is a sickness. This is a climate scientist. So you must be sick if you don't agree with their narrative. That's what the nuclear industry does. If you don't agree with their narrative, then you are a threat to the world. But yet they want the US-style diplomatic immunity. I'll give you some good diplomatic immunity. I ever catches you. Death threats, anyone? I wasn't death threatening you. I was just going to pull some hair out of your fucking head. Global warming deniers should be sentenced to death. I can think of a whole bunch of other species out there that are not like the other human species, but dress up like humans. Not mentioning no names. Nuclear physicists. Colin Brewer says disabled children should be put down. Oh, it's okay. Big pension, big car, government protect them, police will come and thump you to death. But if I say it, they come arrest me. I say it, vilified in the media throughout North America. I say it, Dana's a bad person. Oh, Dana's using too much rhetoric in these videos. Shut your fucking mouth. Go somewhere else. Preferably anywhere else. Get off my site permanently. You can't deal with what I'm saying. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the facts. You can't handle the narrative. You don't have to. Fuck off. Leave is a good way to do it, see? I don't come to people's sites and criticize them. Because they want... Like these people, I'm allowed to criticize these crazies. It was okay for the media to come out and write the headline, but I'm not allowed to come out and paraphrase. It is a mental illness that people have. Well, Dana's a bad person. You said something bad about somebody. If you know and seen what I saw on 260 days, 315,000 miles of the coastline, you'll be looking for some blood. I'm calm. I'm cool. I'm collect. I shouldn't be. Barcode everyone till we get our own way. Anything to stop them. The chilling effects on free speech. Global warming. 16 container ships produce more pollution than all the cars on the planet because they're burning bunker fuel that's supposed to be on a toxic waste site till the end of time. It's about 16% efficient. But one of these is equal to 50 million cars, more than all the cars in Canada, New Zealand, and Australia combined. Dana, how dare you say something about them, Dana? Bring us smartphones and stupid shit we don't need, Dana. You can't live without it, Dana. It's going to break down in 2 weeks, dummy. Yeah, but we need it, Dana. It fulfills us, Dana. Sea urchins could be the next victims of sea star wasting disease. So, they looked at 4 sites, and the 5th site in Baja, California, in America, declared a mass mortality. And the Smithsonian and the National Geographic comes out and talked about that study. We covered 15,000 miles of that coastline, the entire coastline, for 260 days in a little dinky. And instead of looking like that, the entire coastline is in distress. All the species are missing except for a tiny handful, and the other 4 million didn't recede the coastline. It's shocking, see? But rain with 20 million particles of radioactive iodine? 20 million particles of radioactive iodine per liter. 10 times more iodine 132, 30 times more iodine 133, 31 times more iodine 129 with a 15 million year half-life. But what did the nuclear physicist have for lunch? It's too fucking bad he didn't have fission chips. It's too bad he didn't get rectal cancer. I'm a nuclear proctologist. I could probably help him. I'd put a banana up there so that nuclear fission chips don't come out and hurt somebody else. And then we put them in a sarcophagus for 10,000 years. Here's my wish for all nuclear bootlicking cheerleading lapdogs on the planet. I wish you were there. Right there. I wish everything connected that you love was right there. I wish your pet rocks were right there. When life gives you these lemons like this, time to stop living next to the nuclear reactor. When you get a tumor like that, isn't it time for everybody to move away from the nuclear reactor? Studies show kids will get 20% more cancers in 15 miles of a nuclear plant. But if you studied the 50% and you track down everybody who moved away, it'd be a lot bigger than that. That is extraordinary. But you think that's bad? Women, there's 6 times more women getting their titties chopped off if they live within 15 miles of a nuclear plant. And like almost all cancer, through other studies, have been related to nuclear fallout. The genetics passed down from your mother, from sucking up the radiation from the Cold War and the test. Think about it. Nuclear power, safer than sex. Nuclear power attacks the reproductive organs immediately of all the species on the planet, every one of them. But it's particularly harmful to little girls and little boys. It's vicious. And it sterilizes them. And so they have all these trendy little saying out there on the internet. Like the people that put that out there should be... I shouldn't say the words because you're not allowed to criticize these people. You're not allowed to speak your mind about these people. You're not allowed to have an opinion about the nuclear industry. There's 2,000 PR firms, nuclear puke machines out there pouncing on me all day, every day, and every blog out there smearing me, attacking me, vilifying me, trying to marginalize me, trying to get, people to turn away, not listen to a single word I got to say, because I got emotion. Dean, you got emotions. You can't stand it. You got emotions. Dean, emotions. What's the most terrifying word in a nuclear industry? Is oops. You can have 1,000 years of good reactors. It only takes one to wreck the planet. And you can't decommission a nuclear reactor. Fukushima's killed the Pacific Ocean. It's killed the Pacific Ocean. And nobody will make a stand. It's incredible. Nobody in the media is what I'm talking about. Is able to come out and say anything to the creatures that are wrecking the planet. They're going to wait till the very end of it, and then they're going to say, nuclear might have killed some of the fish in the ocean. Like, I know the fact is that when people find out, we're calm compared to what's coming. We're nothing compared to what's coming. We're just a very start. We're just a very tiny, tiny fraction of the anger that is coming for these people. There is lynching coming for these people, and they deserve it. There is unbelievable anger, unimaginable anger coming for every nuclear scientist and nuclear apologist on this planet, and everybody who works for a nuclear PR firm. They will fucking hunt you down. Even if I didn't exist, That will still happen. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. You kill the Pacific Ocean, people are going to fucking snap. And they deserve to. And you deserve what's coming your way. I can't wait for the fun to start. I can't wait to watch you fuckers running for the hills. You couldn't even light a fire in the woods. You're going to perish in there. Lucky for you, there's no species left in there to eat you after you die. So we'll probably find you. You think I'm kidding? You should come over to British Columbia, Canada. Directly across from Japan. Directly across from the ocean currents. 45 days by ocean. 3 days by the jet stream. Direct prevailing winds. You fucking wrecked Canada. You are the most demented, twisted, sickest, heartless, soulless things on this planet. You're not humans. You don't act like humans. You don't even sound like a human when you talk. But nuclear scientists, these are the epitome of the worst that we have ever created. The worst label anybody ever got was a nuclear scientist. That is the worst thing that could happen to you. Somebody call you a nuclear scientist. Them's fighting words, okay? Somebody call you a nuclear scientist, you could get lynched in the street in the near future. Hey, I think he's a nuclear scientist. People will grab you, tear you apart, tear your arms off. That's coming. Sun is shining because it burns hydrogen and helium in a process called nuclear fusion. The reactors don't do that. Reactors are not like the sun. The sun creates the elements, we wreck the elements. We add extra electrons into this category and we no longer have anything familiar with the universe. And there's nothing on the planet that's acclimated to it. There's nothing on the planet that knows how to defend itself against it. There's nothing on the planet that can live in harmony with nuclear. Right? So these freaking lying sacks of Dewey. Look at George Bush. Even the Easter Bunny knows George Bush. Well, we don't know Bush done it. We don't think Bush is smart enough to do something like that. But that's what a politician is. That's what Abe is doing down there now. He's the equivalent of 911 on the whole planet. 911 was staged. It's 100% staged. Go look at my video on my website. Just got over 1 million on it. Unit billing 6 for 911. That was a directed energy weapon. Nuclear whack jobs. I'm your father. Right? They got to infiltrate everything. They got to put these memes out about everything to do that's trendy so they can get their 2 cents in there. You can go, you'll find nuclear pencils, nuclear mugs, nuclear shoes, nuclear socks. Whatever the object you're looking for, you put it there, someone's got it there. Which is the nuclear industry. So they can infiltrate every aspect of you and your loved one's life. You can't escape them. They're in every movie. They're worse than fucking Jews. They're fucking everywhere. They have infiltrated and destroyed everything. Dude, you're anti-Semitic. No. You got a whole fucking planet out there telling me that Hamas, 10,000 people, are making Israel's life miserable. Israel created 5 million refugees. And they kept the other 1.7 in a refugee camp, a prison, with land, sea, air embargoes. And you can't even get a children's book or a children's toy in there because the terrorists might use it. Meanwhile, the 4th biggest weapon production on the planet is Israel, and they go in to use Gaza to test out their new weapons. Jews can go fuck themselves. I'm sick of them. 5 million refugees so you can have Israel. And you wonder why you got a conflict down there. Do you anti-Semitic? You're not allowed to talk about Jews, just like nuclear scientists, right? Not allowed to talk about them because they're fucking evil. The ones in Israel are. I'm not saying all Jews are evil. I'm saying the fucking ones in Israel are, though. They're making their money off misery. They're fucking misery machines. If God didn't want us to magnetize kittens, He wouldn't have given us kittens and magnets. Right? That's the mentality of University of Victoria in British Columbia. That's the mentality of Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution. That's the mentality of Thunder Shithead Foot. That's the mentality of all the apologists. That's the mentality of the nuclear PR firms, public relation firms. That is the most scariest thing unimaginable. You could be living in a neighborhood with a nuclear PR firm employee in the same neighborhood as you. That is freaking terrifying. I would rather have Charles Manson living in my basement than any nuclear PR firm or nuclear scientist. I'd rather have Ted Bundy coming over playing poker every Friday night than having a nuclear scientist in my fucking city. Because Ted Bundy or Charles Manson are irrelevant to compare to what they do every day, what a nuclear scientist murders every day. What they do in their career is unimaginable. All 8 million species on the planet. Hang on. Nuclear scientists are fucking the worst that we can, the worst on the planet. These are the worst people imaginable. These are the most despicable, most heartless and soulless. We already covered that, I'm sure. Government paying MIT to figure out how to get the public to accept nuclear projects. Right? So you go to your universities to figure out a way to trick you, to manipulate you, to deceive you. This is standard. This is Operation 101 in the rule book of every university in your country, in Canada and United States in particular. Every university is a fucking tool for a handful of corporations. But anything to do with nuclear, they'll put the whole faculty, the entire staff, all the students to work on the problem. How do we make nuclear trendy? You start hanging nuclear scientists, it'll get trendy real fast. It'll run its course, too. Once you start that trend, you probably can't stop it. That's what we hope the future holds for those fuckers. Not hope, we know. It's not assume, it's we know. That will happen. Even if there's only one person left on the planet, everybody else is a nuclear scientist, that person will spend every waking moment trying to kill them off. It's us or them. And right now, they kill the planet. You can't stop Fukushima. You can't stop the dead Pacific Ocean. You can't switch that clock back. You can't roll that one back. You can't stop the train on that one. What you can do is encourage your children not to be nuclear scientists. I'm going to have a cigarette. It's a CNT. Doesn't have 7,000 chemicals. Because that's what your institutions, they looked at nicotine, they said, nicotine might give you cancer. We almost found a way that it shows it gives you cancer. Scientists might be able to prove it in another 50 years. They've only been at it for 50 years, Dana. Give them time. Well, I got a novel idea. Take a cigarette, an actual cigarette, and then see if the cigarette would give you cancer instead of just taking the nicotine. Yeah? Take the cigarette with the 7,000 chemicals, not the nicotine without the chemicals that they gave you to do your test on. Why won't you do that? Because your universities are the ones that told you it was safe for 30 or 40 years. But in the last 15 years, they're like, oh no, it gives you cancer. They still can't prove it. But anyway, my cigarettes don't got 7,000 chemicals. But who woke up one morning and said, hey, I got it, 7,000 chemicals in a cigarette? There's more chemicals in that flame than there is in that cigarette. It's just natural tobacco. And it's got a natural filter on it from what I understand. But government is paying your universities to trick you. How does that make you feel? Authorities. Mass senior nuclear reactor operator. Senior nuclear reactor operator. Carjacked a woman with a loaded gun because he was thrill-seeking, because he don't care. Because he's part of that 99% that hates your guts, that want to kill you. And this is just a little thrill for him. For other thrills, he releases radioactivity in the community and gives Timmy and Sally cancers. And knocks off women's titties with breast cancer forever and ever and ever. And kills all the animals and species around a nuclear power plant. A nuclear power plant in California had over 3 million fish in front of its intake gates. Dead. Sucking in 1 million gallons a minute. 3 million dead fish. Go down on the shoreline of that nuclear power plant, flip over a rock, fisheries and oceans are forced to come up, smack you on the head, drag you into the court and give you a fine for disturbing the marine life that don't exist there anymore. Because that's what nuclear does to that whole area. Nuclear is taking up all the real estate on the ocean. Now they want to build floating ones. Now they want to put them in your communities in little tiny modular reactors. And every one of them have to lie to you all the time. That's the only way they can exist. He later confessed that hijacking was a stupid thing to do and that he was only thrill-seeking. Aw, you terrorized the woman, but you're only thrill-seeking. But that's people who are operating your reactors. This is why I say to you that industry is crazy. It is whack job. You're carjacking private jets, hundreds of $1,000s in gold bars. That's a typical day at a nuclear scientist's house. These people are vicious thugs. None of them had children. Only 1% of nuclear scientists have children. No one knows why. All nuclear scientists that die will have cancer in them. The majority of them will die from vicious leukemias. All the famous ones that have died, Curie and Lawrence and Teller and Oppenheimer, they've all died of cancer. Every one of them. 3 people died of acute leukemia after being sent to Fukushima within 50 kilometers of the plant. There was over 300 police officers died. Over 300, not 3 in particular on that one story. But there's over 300 confirmed dead police officers. But yet they'll go out and beat you down if you protest against nuclear, killing the police. They'll beat you down over there. Because they don't hire intelligent people usually. Police get smarter as they get older and start to learn they were used as tools. But by then the power trip is well sunk in. You can never get them out of the job again. They don't care. Anything for power. Evacuees died from acute symptoms. Not yet reported. Apparently they're going to start releasing all kinds of information on the 5th anniversary coming up March 11, 2016. 6 evacuees of 10 from a certain area died of acute symptoms. It was said leukemias. And you can get these leukemias if you're getting bombarded. If you're close enough, like the MOX fuel, if you got a lot of that into you, that's actually emitting neutrons. These are little nuclear engines. That MOX fuel in Unit 3 at Fukushima. That thing was over the top. Plus the reactor's fuel pools were full. As I showed you earlier, they're all gone. They blew up, caught fire, and blew up, and caught fire. Melted down and blew up and caught fire. Nuclear plants are paying customers to use power. Paying customers to use the nuclear power. No one wants to use it, see? Everybody friggin' hates it. They got to pay people to fucking use it. Nuclear power is no longer a viable source of new energy in the U.S. He retired a few days before that. That's the only reason he spoke out. No, fuck, it's going to kill the entire planet. Real soon, too. Not going to take 100 years. It's going to take another few years. You already killed the Pacific Ocean in less than 5. It's over the top. Over the top. Nuclear power on his deathbed, and the public is riveted on the issue of nuclear safety. Scrutiny is intense. Not intense enough. I got to keep doing what I'm doing, just in case. We've been going for 49 minutes. We'll wind her down. A couple more to get through. Mystery bacteria grown on nuclear fuel rods with an unknown DNA. Unknown DNA. I'll just leave it on that one. That's a good one to leave it all on. What? An unknown DNA? That's not supposed to be possible, Dana. Yeah. Neither is nuclear. It's disgusting. Okay. Let's come over and slow it down. Anything here trendy I didn't get to? The truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. That is the motto that you should live by. And that is the motto that is coming. Oh yeah, baby, it's coming. And it's not going to be hard to find out who the apologists were, because they're all over the media, they're all over the news, they're all over YouTube, all over Facebook. The apologists are pumped out there by the nuclear industry. And that's their own worst fate coming back at them. I was hoping to make it through without having a cigarette, but a stressful day, stressful week. Stressful trying to get all this equipment working, but we're doing much better. I'm definitely going to lose a couple of teeth, though. One of them might stay. You know, it's been like a week now, almost, of pumping unimaginable amounts of stuff in my body to try to get my health back. I believe I was poisoned by the nuclear industry. You know, I was arrested and smeared across Canada recently, right? And that I have to go to court for the nuclear industry. It's a slap suit. It's a version of the slap lawsuits. It's a judicial version. Slap lawsuit against public participation. Against public participation. The idea is to bankrupt you, run up the bills, drag you out of your jurisdiction, make you get hotel rooms, make you do all kinds of paperwork, just bury you in paperwork. They've been destroying me nonstop. It's amazing that I can even pull off a single video since they arrested me. It really is. You have no idea what they've got done to me and what they do to me all the time, every day. How they're at me. I don't bother telling it because I don't want them to realize it. And I can't tell you anyway because it gives away the game of what I'm up to. Right? So they got me boxed in the corner where I can't ask for help because that gives away my game. And it's just shocking what they got done to me in order to try to destroy me. They already destroyed me in major media throughout Canada. For doing 260 days on the ocean and 15,000 miles of the coastline and showing an extinction event. That the 4 million other species, even though the 5,600 are missing, didn't come in either. They're gone. Because that's how that works. It's impossible for a coastline not to recede itself. It's impossible. Yet here it is. The entire coastline of Canada is void of life. The entire coastline. And the birds are missing. And the snow is missing. Not the snow, but the ice. 1,000-year-old ice is missing from all the British Columbia mountains because we're directly across from Japan. People better wake up. People better learn and protect themselves and get out of the way. You know, that's what you got to do. You got to get out of the way and protect yourself. Oh, I didn't bring up the page like I wanted to. Well, even though I didn't put out a YouTube video to let people know I was streaming, we still brought in 32 people, and we're grateful that you had the time to show up. My apologies for not giving you a warning. It's just, that's the way it is. I can only do what I can do, and then I have to do it when I can do it. And that I'm at this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't stop. There is nothing else more important than what I do, to me. I'm trying to sort this out and trying to understand it and trying to keep on top of it and trying to build a resistance that can educate people. And so sometimes I kind of snap, and I apologize. But I'm under an enormous amount of pressure and financial burden, and that I've been vilified in the media. And that, you know, the things I do, it's not going to be me by myself for much longer in the context of, at some point I'll have a real operation put together. At some point I'll be able to come out and deal with these people properly with a whole team of people to come out and litigate them and everything else. But until those days, I have to keep asking and for your support and your help. And that's all we can do, right? Is just do the best we can. And I find out that the whole coastline is missing. You know, I have to do more, right? I'm never satisfied with what I've got done at the end of any day. And there's never enough moments in the day for me to do it anyway. But I'm never satisfied at the end of the day. And that's why I work so hard all day, every day. Because we don't know if they're going to kill me or when they're going to kill me. We know they're going to kill me. They know they're trying to kill me. They already killed me, character assassinated me in the media. And I'm just a nobody. I get that. And that's what these people do to anybody that dare speak up about it. Hugs for everybody. Good night, everybody. Shani Ken, Amthurst, Gabriel, Nash, Clint, and Jan is out there, Net Killer. Anthony, Adam, Clint. Yeah, Zika gives you the same deformities as radioactive fallout. How interesting, right? And so don't forget that one, folks. Zika, say that all the time in the blogs when you see it. Hey, Zika gives you the same deformities as Fukushima fallout. Then it starts to resonate for people. Then it'll go away. Janice says, but they have toxic waste candy packages in a nuclear drum saying toxic. Eat it up. Kids, suck on it. Good night, everybody. Just scrolling through, and that's the best I can do tonight, because we're going to do Jeff Rince's is at 9:30 tonight, because they're doing something else for the first half an hour in the caucus in America. I guess there's a story. And that's why I was able to get out and do this little stream tonight. So, but like you say, I'm getting a little bit more energy every day. Because I will it, I guess. Or you folks have willed it, I would imagine, is why that works the way it does. Because you decided that Dana wasn't going to be by himself, and that somewhere or another throughout the universe you were able to make a difference. And that is the way life works, whether we realize it or appreciate it or not. It is only through good wishes and prayers and everything else, no doubt, that I'm able to sustain and keep to do the things and keep the spirit and keep the attitude and pull off the little bit that I can do each night and each opportunity I get. So we'll see everybody on that rebound. Good night, everybody. And we'll be streaming again soon, because that's the way it's got to get done. Take care, folks.